Registered Phenomena Code 942. Object Class Gamma Red. Hazard Types: Aggression, Sentient, Contact. Containment Protocols. RPC-942 is contained within a specially designed 20-foot cube containment cube at Site located feet underground. The cube is constructed with a layer of titanium, concrete, and an additional layer of steel for enhanced structural integrity. Each layer must be at the minimum of 1.5 feet in width. The containment chamber is to be regularly inspected for any signs of any structural compromise. Any issues or damages in the containment structure are to be immediately reported to containment personnel for repairs. The containment chamber is designed with a maze-like layout consisting of 3 false exits and 5 interconnected corridors in order to confuse and impede RPC-942's movement in the event of a breach. All corridors within the chamber are to be equipped with surveillance cameras, and the entrance to the cell should be welded shut at all times, but can be removed should the need for recontainment arise. The entrance to the containment chamber is disguised as a concrete slab located at the southeast corner of the cell. This disguised entrance should be inspected regularly to ensure its concealment remains intact. Multiple replicas of RPC-942's containment cube are on standby for use during repair or recontainment. Personnel are to follow recontainment protocols during transfer of RPC-942 between cells. In the event of a breach, RPC-942 is to be recontained as follows. One side of the replica containment cube should remain unattached from the main structure by default. This side is to be securely welded shut after RPC-942 has been successfully recontained. Personnel are to utilize high-frequency audio to coerce RPC-942 back towards the cube's entrance. All personnel must be equipped with full PPE to prevent contact with the anomaly. It is noted that previous attempts at containing RPC-942 utilizing vacuum chambers and exposure to freezing temperatures have failed, resulting in multiple containment breaches. How or why RPC-942 is unaffected by either is currently unknown. Thus, RPC-942's current containment protocols have been the most effective. RPC-942 Containment Logs. Credentials accepted. RPC-942 has gone through 2 previous methods of containment before its current containment protocols were put into use. This document exists for archival purposes in the event alternate methods of containment arise. Containment Log 942.1 RPC-942's containment chamber was originally a 10-foot cube vacuum-sealed chamber, designed to keep RPC-942 in place via suction. These containment protocols only worked for a few hours, as RPC-942 managed to malfunction the suction system, breaking the machine entirely. It was later discovered that RPC-942 had excreted high volumes of the unknown black substance that clogged the suction device. Other related attempts to use suction to restrain RPC-942 have only provided temporary containment, rendering vacuum methods as emergency only. Containment Log 942.2 RPC-942's containment chamber remained the same in its dimensions. The chamber was equipped with a unit that produced large amounts of refrigerant to test the properties of RPC-942's mist. The refrigerant unit was meant to lower the temperature within the containment chamber, in hopes that freezing temperatures would slow and/or freeze RPC-942. Initial tests showed some success in slowing down RPC-942's movements. However, RPC-942 soon reacted and began to manipulate air currents to generate heat within the chamber, negating the refrigeration. RPC-942 generated enough heat to malfunction the refrigerant unit. However, it was discovered that RPC-942 inhibits reaction to loud noises, as the unit began to make loud screeching noises from internal parts scraping together, causing RPC-942 to react and flee towards a corner of a cell. The refrigeration method is deemed ineffective for long-term containment. Description: RPC-942 resembles a visible aerosol suspended in a spherical shape 16 meters in diameter. When at rest, tests show from leftover fluids that RPC-942 is comprised of water, oil, and an unknown black substance. While typically stationary, RPC-942 can manipulate air currents around itself to change positions, recorded up to 64 km/h. How RPC-942 itself is able to perceive is unknown. However, it has display capabilities of sensing movements in close proximity to its suspended particles, or within line of sight. Walls and barriers do not limit its detection within close proximity. When a target is detected and/or seen, RPC-942 has exhibited utilizing two different methods of hunting. RPC-942 will sometimes begin its hunt slowly and patiently, stalking its target. When using this method of hunting, RPC-942 will gradually increase in speed until it is at its maximum speed. If RPC-942 has reached its full speed, it will switch to its alternate method of hunting. This form of hunting involves ambushing its targets, sometimes smashing through objects if it has to. Failure to capture a target within typically 3 to 5 minutes will result in more violent behavior from the anomaly, using its manipulation of air currents to launch objects at its target. If given enough time, it can break through the majority of material kinds. Despite RPC-942's appearance being missed, it can be hindered by tangible objects. Even when its activation requirements are satisfied, RPC-942 will occasionally become dormant after a chase concludes. These periods of dormancy can range from minutes to months, with the longest known inactive period being 3 months. This occurrence only happens if RPC-942 has successfully caught a victim previously. However, even in its dormant stage, physical contact with RPC-942 is still hazardous. As soon as a victim's skin makes physical contact with RPC-942's mist, they are immediately pulled into it, leaving behind any clothing and possessions they had on them. While it is unknown what happens to those within RPC-942 directly, it is believed that victims are disintegrated. See Addendum .942.01. The speed at which a victim of RPC-942 is consumed at depends on how many individuals RPC-942 had consumed at the time, and whether RPC-942 is in an active state. Audio logs. Recorded audio of RPC-942 in its inactive state, dubbed the idle state. Audio is quite loud. Listen with caution. Recorded audio of RPC-942 becoming active at the 18-second mark. The location of what caused it to become active is unknown. RPC-942 then began to violently strike its containment cube. This sudden enraged state lasted a full minute before RPC-942 returned to its idle state. Discovery: RPC-942 came to the attention of the Authority following a series of unusual weather events, culminating in a significant incident on March 2, 2013. Reports document the manifestation of an EF3 tornado in Missouri. What set this tornado apart from typical meteorological phenomena was the presence of auditory phenomena. Beginning at 3:42 p.m. local time, the tornado displayed an unusual characteristic. Whispers and anguished screams could be distinctly heard when one was within approximately 60 meters of the tornado. During the second hour of the tornado's existence, at approximately 4:42 p.m., a victim of RPC-942, displaying intense distress and erratic behavior, was observed attempting to escape both RPC-942 and tornado's grasp. The entity thrashed and flailed violently in an attempt to break free from their influence. For approximately 1 minute, the victim's struggle against the tornado was visible. Then, in a sudden occurrence, the victim was seemingly reabsorbed by the tornado, vanishing without a trace. This peculiar incident led to further investigation and containment efforts by the Authority, resulting in the establishment of Containment Protocols for RPC-942, as detailed above. Addendums: Addendum .942.01 Addendum .942.01 October 1, 2025. Following a breach involving RPC-942, it was seen behaving erratically and unpredictable while in pursuit of multiple facility personnel. Security cam footage analysis showed that RPC-942 would randomly stop or collide with objects. At around 2 minutes into the pursuit, RPC-942 began to throw nearby objects in an attempt to stop or impede its targets. At approximately 4 minutes into the pursuit, RPC-942 halted its position, as its mist began to change colors, including, but not limited to, lime green, crimson, white, and yellow. During this event, multiple victims that were taken by RPC-942 became visible, each exhibiting different features, such as appearing scorched or melting. These instances vocalized distress through yelling, screaming, and crying. This event allowed facility personnel to escape, to which RPC-942 returned to its inactive state. After 3 minutes, as containment personnel began to prepare for recontainment of RPC-942, RPC-942 was seen launching bones out of its mist in random directions in 15-second intervals. As RPC-942 continued to spit out bones, the cries began to cease. The bones recovered from the breach were identified to be the remains of 3 facility personnel. However, RPC-942 seemed to have kept one of its victims alive, possibly in attempts to preserve its food. RPC-942 was contained without issue due to its inactivity state lasting for 4 hours after its loss in pursuit.